Hello everybody and welcome back to my Totem Tuesday videos, not on Tuesday. And this week we've got two videos coming up because I've been a bit behind on some of the videos. There's going to be two totem animal videos coming up this week, starting today with one that's been really popular in the requests. People have been asking for a video on the owl for quite a while, but as always the videos come at the right time, and as I'll explain in the video, this is why it's the right time for me to talk about the owl. And later on this week we're going to have a video about the best animal in the world, the cat. That's the most popular video. So later on this week we're going to do a video about cats as well. So even though it's been a bit behind, there'll be a double whammy of videos this week. I'll still call it Totem Tuesday even if they're not going to be on Tuesdays. So, as I mentioned, this week we're going to be looking at the owl. But before I say anything else, happy Beltane everybody. I hope you're having a lovely May Day and enjoying the sunshine and the beginning of summer. But far from the summer light, we're going to be looking at the dark twilight of the owl. And again, as most animals that we look at, there could be whole books or whole long videos made about each animal. And the owl is without a doubt no different, to have so much folklore and, you know, contrary as always, we've been discovering in our series of videos how conflicting opinions about animals can be, particularly animals like owls, like wolves. You know, we've really found all over the world very different opinions, and so we're going to be exploring the owl today. Now, as I said, a lot of you guys at home have been really saying they wanted to look at the owl, so I think a lot of you out there has owl as a totem. If you can rewind back to our childhood, a lot of the books that I read as a little girl had wise old owl with his glasses on, reading a book and giving out wise, if not sage wisdom. You know, this is how it's done, I know best. And so that's kind of a comforting thing that I think we had when we were children. The owl knew, wise old owl knew best. But when you kind of are out in the countryside or out where owls might be at night, it's not quite such a comforting feeling. Their screech or their call can be quite off guard, you know, can render you off guard. They can remind you very much of the other world. And when you get used to that idea, and when you explore that idea, it's very comforting indeed and beautiful to have the sound of a hooting owl around you. But I think no other animal shows you so much that you're entering a different world, a different reality as an owl. In some cultures, the screeching owl and the screech of an owl, it will make you stop. It will make you stop in your tracks and think, should I go down this road? I mean, I've been out and hearing owls screeching and have thought, maybe I shouldn't be going down this path because they're obviously not wanting me here at times. So the screeching of an owl can be really shrill and can really make you think. And in many cultures, the owls has represented death, and even in Christian times, the devil as well. But we won't go too much into that rubbish because owls aren't. Owls are not devils. But I understand that the death link, of course, you know, of gods of the death, of gods of night. But I would say it in a way where it brings transformation. The feeling that we're going to look at with owl is that owl reminds us of the night, the inner darkness, the darkness of our souls. It reminds us of death and transition, but not as something to necessarily be afraid of. That if we face that darkness and that acceptance of shifts and transformations, then we understand that the owl can be a great initiator of new beginnings. So, you know, I don't like the negative folklore about it being devil bird. No, but I do, in lots of Native American myths, the owl was the bringer of, or the soul departing, or the bringer of death, and that's fine. But in many other cultures, owl is actually a fertility bird, a bird of new life. So again, you've got the regeneration aspect. Most animals won't be linked to a death aspect without being linked to a regeneration aspect as well. So for those with owl as their totem, owls are the birds of mystery, possibly more than any other. Owls being a bird of mystery and of the night and of wisdom. Possibly because, you know, to humans the night has always been mysterious. The night has always caught us off guard and left us looking into the dark places and wondering what lies beyond. And owl navigates those dark places just so perfectly. Owl's eyesight is amazing. I did write down that they can change from, there we go, it's telescopal vision and to, oh, where's my notes? I wanted to sound really intelligent, like I knew what I was talking about with my visions. But they can, no, it's gone. But they can change their vision from being telescopic to really focusing on the small things very, very quickly. So this is so important to their hunting. They're aware of what's going on around them. They can look at the big picture and they can hone in on the important details and look at them as well. And maybe that's something that people with owls as a totem could look at to shift your perspective. So amazing eyesight to be able to see in the dark, and their eyes adjust to all light very, very quickly. From twilight, the deepest, darkest night, their eyes can adjust very quickly. And some owls, the snowy owl and the short-eared owl, are able to hunt and happily hunt in the day as easily as the night. So those two owls span light and day, dark and night quite easily. But most owls hunt from twilight onwards, from twilight into the night. And they rely on their amazing vision to see when no one else can see. That's it, isn't it? You know, in the dark, no other bird or animal can see as well as the owl. So it sees what's hidden in the darkness. And not only are they blessed with amazing sight, they're also blessed with wonderful hearing as well. And you know, some of the owls that have the little tufty ears, well, they're not actually ears, apparently. They look like ears, but they're not ears. So those ears that are not ears give the idea of being listening all the time, even if that's, you know, it's giving people the idea of being aware and listening in on things. In fact, owls' ears are asymmetrical. One is usually bigger than the other slightly, and they're placed in different parts of the head. So they really do get an awareness of what is going on all around them. They're able to sense what is going on 360. And they can sense what's going on, the subtlest movements. So this says a lot for someone who has owl as a totem, that it is not about the big, bold gestures. This is picking up on the subtlest energies. I think the bigger thing we can say with someone who has owl as a totem is that they are most likely going to be clairvoyant, most likely going to be at least interested or sensitive to subtle energies. And maybe someone who's hoping to increase their psychic development would work with an owl to enhance those abilities. The yellow-orange of the owl's eyes not only gives the owl lots of character and makes us notice them and kind of feel very mesmerised by them, but it shows the yellowy orange colour is almost like bringing the sunshine into the night, so the carrier of the sun from the day to the night. And I think that's a nice thing to meditate on if you're working with an owl energy, just maybe even that as an idea to think about the owl taking the light of the day into the night, so shining those hidden places. Owls often live or spend a lot of time in derelict places, barns that aren't being used, ruins, old churches, because we're away from us, noisy lots, and also because they've got the space to live. They don't often build nests, but they'll find spaces where their eggs can be, such as tree rooks or buildings, old buildings. Maybe sometimes even you'll find that sometimes babies fall out because they're not in a very safe nest, but that's absolutely fine. They're found by their mum if they're not taken by humans, and will be integrated back into the family. They can just leave. They just seem to have their young in quite random places, but why they frequent ruins and barns and old churches, because this is allowing them to be undisturbed but have the space to kind of lay their eggs and raise their young and take their food. Because for many reasons, but one reason is because of these derelict places, that the high places, the lonely places, that the owl is often linked with the hermit on the tarot card. And I think owl and hermit go hand in hand. The journey of yourself, the journey into the dark, taking the light, the eyes, the orange, and the light that the lantern that the hermit takes into the night. The wisdom of the hermit gained from time spent alone. Owl will teach you not to be afraid of being on your own. Owl will teach you it's okay, you can do it, and you're strong. And it will show you your own shadows and allow you to work through them if you choose not to run away. So this owl is a great teacher, and it will show. I think that's it. I think owls have been demonised a bit because they show us our fears. They show us the night and the noises that freak us out a little bit. But if we can work with that and go along with it, we can gain great strength and insight into our own lives. The secrets of the night are what owls are known for, and discerning secrets is something that a lot of cultures have thought them capable of, getting secrets from other people, knowing of somebody else's soul. In fact, in ancient Rome, it was thought that if you put an owl feather on the pillow of someone, that you would be able to gain the knowledge of their secrets while they slept. So that's kind of a magic that they thought would work. It shows you that they believed that owls could discern and could kind of grasp secrets, grasp what other people couldn't see. There are many goddesses, particularly goddesses, linked with owls. Owls are animals of the feminine, of the moon, of the lunar, of the night, and the goddess. And there's a few goddesses that are linked with owls. Athena might be one that you've seen, because you'll often see an owl drawn, carved, or kind of created next to an image of Athena. So Athena is the Greek goddess of wisdom, higher wisdom. She was quite feisty, a battle goddess. Well, she knew how to win battles, and she was the goddess of all the higher thoughts. And she was a virgin goddess, but virgin meant unmarried, not the way we see virgin these days. She was a goddess of philosophy, and the owl's vigilance, intelligence, and secret keeping was one of the reason why she was known. Seeing things that others can't, seeing through what is obvious. That's what the owl was seen with Athena. And also Minerva, the Roman counterpart there, was also linked with an owl. For Christian Gnostics, Lilith was actually linked with an owl as well. Lilith, Adam's first wife, who left him, or they broke up because she decided not to be submissive. So the owl is a symbol of the independent feminine, the independent female, the one that won't be subdued or do as she's told, the wild woman. And that brings us a little bit to Blodwedd, the Welsh story in the Mabinogion, because Blodwedd, it's a bit of a sad tale. She was created out of flowers to be beautiful, and to be by Gwythian the magician. She was created out of flowers to be a beautiful wife for Lugh. And she fell in love when she was created. I mean, obviously looking all beautiful, she fell in love with the huntsman. And together they plotted to kill Lugh so that she could be with the huntsman. Of course, this is all found out, and Blodwedd was transformed into an owl so that she would be shunned by all other animals. And there was a kind of a set apart that was a bad thing to be transformed into an owl, because she'd only be able to haunt the night and other animals would shun her. So there was a punishment. But Blodwedd that's how the story's kind of ended up. And Blodwedd has turned into an owl. So an owl cast apart from the rest of society. So, I mean, you can look at that in many different ways. I mean, yes, it doesn't sound like a very nice story, but Blodwedd, it wasn't very nice planning to kill Lugh. But also, it's kind of a bit of a feminist one as well, because she was created out of flowers to be a husband for someone else when she had no choice. And her saying her independence, I don't want this, I want this. Independence, stating your own mind, like Lilith, ended up with the owl transformation and the owl link as well. So the independent rebellious woman is maybe a link with the owl. In the Druids would call the owl Cailleach Oich, which means Cailleach is crone, the old crone goddess, and Oich is night, so it means crone of the night. Crone doesn't have the negative connotations as we kind of see old people as these days in our folklore. We kind of have lost the respect for old people and their wisdom and their knowledge, which is a terrible, terrible shame, and something I deeply feel should be reclaimed. The wisdom of the elders is so important that we all listen to. So if we can go back to that era when the elders and the old wise women and men will be listened to and revered, and their stories will be so important. This is the crone, and the wise woman of the night basically is the name for the owl. So that's a lovely name there indeed. So we've got a list of a few more things. Dreaming work. You can do dreaming work with working with owls. So if you have lucky enough to have an owl feather, you can put that on your pillow, not to be afraid that the Romans will know your secrets, but that it can aid dream work, astral travel, maybe asking a question before you go to bed, and wanting to find the answer in your sleep. Yeah, there's loads of things here we've got with the owl for little just personality traits of anyone working with an owl totem. Mystery, wisdom, intuition, the night, darkness, the goddess, feminine, sight and senses, hunter, living in the present. So for the owl who has to be aware of everything that's going on around her, living in the present is so, so important. Maybe owls come along in your life to show you to live in the now and how to maximise living in the now as well. Subtleties of the voice, so you can pick up on these things that other people cannot pick up on. Also, what I would like to sort of say as well is that, yes, there is the souls of the dead that the Native Americans and other cultures saw as linked with the owl, but the messenger of the other world, the fairy messenger, the messenger from the place of the ancestors, and that's not anything to be feared. That's the thing about this, it's not anything to be feared. It's almost the guide and the reassurance that, you know, that the other world always walks with us, and that death is an ever-present reality. However, it can be a doorway to something new. Even the small changes in our life that we don't want to deal with, a doorway to something new. I think that's an amazing lesson that owl can teach us about initiation and transformation, and seeing into our own selves, into the darkest parts of ourselves, and also maybe the darkest parts of others as well, and being able to see the truth and the reality. So it takes a brave soul to work with owl, but it can, I feel like it can really be the key to life's biggest and most ancient mysteries. So thank you very much for. I didn't explain. Sorry, before I say I didn't explain why I was going to. I did say I'd explain why I was working with the owl this week, and it's because I spent the night on Hampstead Heath and was guided by an owl quite strongly, and it came and sat with me and made noises and looked at me, and I was really comforted actually by the owl being there, and really, really enjoyed the presence of the owl and was really mesmerised by its energy. So I knew that this week would be an important week to talk about the owl. So thank you so much for watching. There'll be another video this week on cats. That reminds me that apparently owls are called cats with wings. So that links quite well onto the fact the next subject we're going to talk about will be cats. Take care. Thank you for watching. All the best. Bye.